welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by Peter and Joseph, the founders of PMAI.com. They're going to chat to us today about their company. We're going to get to know them a little bit. So thank you so much for joining me today, Peter and Joseph. How are you guys doing?
Doing
Excellent.
well. Doing well. Glad to hear it. Yeah,
Awesome.
he's been styling it as PMA AI, so just probably PMA dot
PMA.
AI for the eventual URL. I think the
Okay.
URL is TBD.
Actually, actually, the URL is actually PMA-AI.
Dot
PMA
com.
dash AI. Okay, cool. So
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
PMA AI. Got you.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you for clearing that up. So, what is PMA AI?
So we are an AI company who generates reports specifically for Medicaid billing, and we're doing this a little bit differently. Rather than relying heavily on user input, our methodology really it still requires user input, but we want to parse that down to as minimal as possible and generate these reports as fast as possible, often with untrained personnel using a very specific language that
Mhm.
often they're not familiar with until they've had a fair amount of training and stuff like that.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so you're in the medical space and you just essentially create reports.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, cool. So what is your story? Why did you start PMA AI?
Okie doke. Well, so my story is my wife got diagnosed with cancer earlier this year. Um, Me and her have been doing direct service providing in our house for 11 years now, and I, we were looking at a potential long-term downtime for her in the healing and recovery aspect of it. They're pleased to announce she's 100% cancer-free. We got through that surgery.
Amazing.
We handled that. And but I was looking at potentially as much as 3 months of her being healing and unable to help. So I was looking
Yeah.
for any way possible to consolidate my workload. These reports generally take about an hour to an hour and a half per day to complete, and they have to be
Wow.
completed every single day. All right. So this started off as a personal project for me.
Mm.
I hired a developer. We got a working prototype, and while I was putting all this into the system that's currently the market leader, I
Mhm.
realized that we have a significantly better product than the best on the market.
Okay.
So next, I started looking around, and I ended up meeting with Joseph, and really due to him being able to translate what I wanted quite brilliantly. I'll just add, we have got ourselves a prototype. We've got a working website. This works for me, for
Yeah.
sure. And we've got a couple of users that have expressed a pretty real interest in doing this as well. Um,
Yeah.
we have to get by some compliance issues. But yeah, that's kind of our story, where we're at. I'm not a tech guy. I don't even have good internet connection at the house. There's every reason why this ought to not work. But here we are, amazingly enough, on the cutting edge of AI with a working prototype, and I mean, it's actually amazing that we are where we are.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing with that with us, and congratulations to you and your wife for making it past, the whole year because that must have been tough. So yeah, I
Ma'am.
love I love the backstory and how personal it is, and I cannot believe that they expect you to fill out a report for an hour a day after you having to go through everything that you're going through and then still have to like sit down and scribble gibberish. Like that's
Well, it's
insane.
even more than that, but it is a cumbersome pain point for anybody that's in my industry.
Yeah.
and it's a mandatory deal that comes with back charges and all kinds of stuff if it's not
Oh
done or
my
not done
gosh.
correctly. So it's
Yeah.
a big deal what we're working on. It doesn't sound like anything special, but it matters to quite a few folks, and you
Yeah.
know, but yeah, that's us.
Well, I mean, as long as you're working on something that will improve someone's life, I feel like it's always worth it. And I feel like I hear what you went through, and I understand why there's a need for it. Definitely.
Okay.
So what is your long term vision for PMAAI?
So my long-term vision for PMA AI is actually twofold. The first one is I want to actually be the market leader in report generation for this specific field, and
Yeah.
potentially see, and we've explored like some more exotic uses of our software.
Okay.
So, potentially like police reporting, really any
Mm.
kind of reporting in theory works with it. But for now, there's a million ways we can go. So we've maintained
Yeah.
pretty strict focus on the Medicaid reporting. But I want to gain as much market share as I can while I have a market lead.
Yeah.
I want to, and ultimately, I want to be a serious player in that market space.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Cool. So what are some of your challenges that you're facing at the moment now? Was your product live? You said it was a prototype. So when are you looking to launch it?
Okie doke. So, well, we could launch. Honestly, we could bring in users right now. The only thing that has stopped me is the compliance piece,
Mm,
and we're into testing. So compliance is significant. Really, for a year's worth of service to hire it out looks like it's going to be about $10,000. Ironically enough, when y'all hit me up, so that matters. And then
yeah.
my other choices are to do this per user, but it's honestly the per user piece is approaching what I want to charge for the total service, and that excludes the AI fees and just everything else. So I really want to have a cost competitive. Well, it's not even cost competitive. I want something that is affordable to my users.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So it's the compliance that's your biggest challenge at the moment. Noted,
Yes,
noted.
ma'am.
So what sort of assistance would you need from our community? Would you be open to collaborating with, people that would look to assist you with PM.ai or PMA AI?
Oh gosh. Well, I'd be willing to talk to almost anybody who is who's knowledgeable in the areas where I'm short, and which those are
Mm,
many. So anybody that has been down the compliance road
yeah,
knows whatever speed bumps I may run into.
yeah,
Um, Anybody that has done this, and trying to scale, fast and grow, and who
mhm,
you know who has a better mousetrap and just trying to figure out the best way to put that out there and
yeah.
really gain some adoption.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Peter, for sharing, the product with us. I love the idea. I see the need for it, and I love that you're open to collaborating and hearing from people because I know that it will hit home with a lot of people in the community. So I can definitely expect people coming through for that. And yeah, it's been a pleasure chatting to you both and getting to know the company, really.
Excellent, excellent.